The sign read, "Welcome to Duskmore." But the rotting corpses hanging from the streetlights weren't so welcoming. I was low on gas and lower on common sense when I turned into this dusty place. My car sputtered into a parking spot outside what looked like a diner. All I needed was a gallon of coffee to keep me going. When I got out, the smell hit me. Something metallic and rancid, like roadkill soaked in motor oil. The diner looked like it hadn't seen a customer since the 1970s. But the neon open sign was flickering on, so I accepted that challenge. I pushed the door open, and the bell overhead gave a hollow jingle, like it didn't really want to announce me. Inside, it looked like what you'd expect. The air was thick, as if no one had opened a window for the last few decades. A handful of people sat in the booths, staring at their plates as if whatever was on them was some kind of punishment. When they looked up, their faces were slack with dull stares, which kinda creeped me the fuck out. But I had priorities. I tried to act as if what I walked into was normal and ordered a coffee, but the waitress, skin pale as bone, just stood there.
"Pay first,"
she said, voice rusty like I'd been her first conversation of the day. "Sure," I said, slapping a 20 on the counter. That's when I got red flag number 2. I noticed her hands, fingers long and skeletal, nails black and cracked. She saw what I was looking at and grinned. Then she leaned over and whispered red flag number 3.
"You shouldn't have come here. Run!"
I bolted out the door, leaving the coffee and my change behind. The street outside wasn't the same. The off-ramp from the highway gone. My car, gone. Replaced by a maze of alleys that twisted and stretched in all directions. I tried to backtrack to my car, but nothing was the same. It was as if the rundown diner off the highway never existed. The only landmarks were the flickering streetlights and the bodies. At first I didn't notice them, but as I turned a corner, there they were. Corpses, bloated and rotting, hanging from the streetlights like grotesque ornaments. Their faces were frozen in expressions of terror, mouths open in silent screams. I gagged, bile rising in my throat. That's when I heard the footsteps. They weren't normal footsteps. They sounded wet, like bare feet slapping against concrete. I turned around and my breath hitched. It wasn't footsteps at all. Not exactly. It dragged its bloated body along the concrete,